Scorpio, welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is going to be a reading between the 17th and the 23rd of October. If you haven't seen the monthly, the October, the eclipse and the equinox reading, we're going to have a look on it. Certainly on the collective. Obviously you've got your individuals as well, but there's a really beautiful messages coming out there. Let's just see what's going on your overall energies that's flowing through you. Yeah, there's anticipation within you, but don't get too carried away at the moment, because there's still work to be done for you. I think this next 2 or 3 weeks as we work up to your. Oh no, we're working into your season this week. I do apologise. Time just flies by. So if you're having your birthday on the 23rd, happy birthday, and for all of you other Scorpions, get ready for it to rock and roll. And that's what it's sort of saying. There is something building up now, and the anticipation of your birthday coming up, starting a whole new cycle. And there's the little, crossing the T's and dotting the I's left to do. If you're carrying weight from last year, let it go. Just do an evaluation. What worked last year? What didn't work last year? What I want to do this year? What I don't want to do this year? That sort of thing. Just put it all into place within you, leading up to your birthday. And when it's your birthday, let rip and let go, so let's just see what's going on the relationship side, and let's see what's happening on the karmic message here. You've been coming out your shell a lot over the last 6 months, last 6 months, 9 months, which has been really good. There is a bit of a it's in that last month before your birthday. You're pulling a little bit back into your shell, as it were. I'd just be a little bit wary of that in regards to your relationships. But also at the same time, I think possibly your relationships could do with a bit of a breather, as it were. Yeah, concentrate on the long-term plans. Don't get caught up in very temporary emotions, basically. I don't think it's going to really work for you. So in your relationships here, just work on the longer term relationships rather than the temporary ones. Okay. Let's just see how the universe is trying to influence that. There's something coming through, and this has got to do with the eclipses that are both in your season, basically. The universe here sort of seems to be applying rules and regulations the way we treat one another. Yeah, there's boundaries to all of these sort of things, and I think this is what the Four of Pentacles is. There is another aspect to it: is don't hold on too tightly. Basically, if you're trying to surf the board, don't try and grip the board, and be rigid. You got to be a little bit fluid about it all. And so, especially with family members, for some reason, I just think just being a little bit more fluid with them would be really a good idea. And just allowing things to little flow through. This is what I'm talking about, working on the long-term plan. Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence that sort of karmic message. They're cutting you down to nothing. So they're trying to reduce the time that you're running around, trying to fill in an agenda or fill in parts of life that it's pulling you from pillar to post. It's like trying to be in New York and Miami at the same time, or being in London or Manchester at the same time. It's just not possible, and I think this is where the guides are sort of kind of saying, whoa, slow down. They're trying to get you through that portal there and to line you up with this new year that is coming around the corner. And I think it would be a good idea to listen to the coincidences that are around you, because that's going to set you up for those long-term relationships, which is going to make you in the long term a lot happier, a lot more happier. Okay, let's just see how the guides are trying to influence this conversation that is within you. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't, if it's like some people don't like silence, so they have to talk in order to fill the silence up. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think you should appreciate the silence. And to appreciate the silence, I think you have to appreciate it inside you before you can appreciate it outside you. So I think that's what it's all about. It's a bit of a call to admission here. I think there's a learning curve, definite learning curve to be done on this section here. It may be a case of holding on too tightly, you know, to, as I said, to family members and stuff like that. It could be a case of holding on too tightly of an idea or a relationship. And you've got to let it flow if you want to go for the long-term plan. And I think this is calling yourself to a mission where I think it's good for you to take time out in nature and just allow nature to explain things to you. Just throw those ideas out there and just let nature just flow it all back into you. Let's just see what's going into, it'll help you to see really clearly. Also unburden a lot of that weight you're carrying on your shoulders. Let's just see how the what's the karmic message on your material, your job, your business and stuff like that. Yeah, there's I think you realize what you want coming up, and it's like it doesn't equate with what you're living, and it's biding your time. Basically, it's realizing of where you've been to where you want to go, and the more you realize that, the more you're going to feel uncomfortable in the job or the business or where the business is or where the project is because you want to move on. A little bit of patience is needed here, and sometimes, you know, that's the strange odyssey of it with Scorpio, is that you could be patient about things for a really, really long time. You know, and there's other things you cannot be patient about at all, and it's got to happen now. And it's that stress, I think, about that, which I hadn't looked at the universe, but I will say it was the Eight of Cups there that was sort of played out there. So obviously there is, I think it is a case of walking away from the path. This is what I'm saying here. Yeah, let's just see what the universe is trying to, how the universe is trying to guide that. At some point, you've got to put the chips on the table. If you don't put in, if you don't, you won't get out. You know, at some point you've got to do that. And I think the universe here is almost as if like the universe can see you kind of going, oh yeah, should I? And it's sort of like dithering really about, you know, the past and the future. And I think the universe is sort of saying here, sort of saying, no. At some point you've got to put your chips in. And the universe is really putting them in for you. They want the best for you, the universe. And I would trust the universe that is around you. Trust those guides that are trying to influence you going forward. Let's just see how those guides are trying to influence that sort of magical gifts that are coming in from the universe that are trying to encourage you to go forward. Yeah, they're doing quality control. So you're getting quality coincidences happening around you that may be telling you, like, you might hear someone sort of, you know, you're sitting in the office and you might hear someone chatting, you know, not too far away from you that sort of says, oh, you, my friend, got this new job and they've had to move, you know, counties or states or whatever it is, and they're really loving it. And that's going to provoke in you kind of going, you know, I want that as well. And I think this is where their quality sort of thing. So yeah, I would pay attention a lot to the coincidences that are around you. Happiness is on your way, 10 of Cups. If you do, it's going to follow on beautifully from that sort of 9 of Cups there. So, you know, let's just see what's going on the universe, how the guides are trying to influence this karmic, this conversation that is within you. They're almost sort of saying, the moment you sort of kind of going, oh, yeah, but, and they kind of go, no, we're going for happiness. We're going for respect. We're going for, you know, because this is what's happening in the world. It's changing for this idea of respect, and you've got to respect yourself first of all, more than anything else. And here they're just sort of, they're not entertaining sort of like the bad side. They're really trying to push you towards the positive side. 2 of Cups, absolutely brilliant. Falling in love with what you do. I think this is what's happening. I think there's a realization on your relationship side of the longer term plans. Stop holding on to dreams that are just not going to happen. Walk through that into a new world and walk into a new mission for you in regards to your relationships. On your business side and your job and your projects, I think it's falling in love with what you're doing and getting ready to instigate that. And it may come up before your birthday. It may start instigating before your birthday, or it may be just after your birthday. But whatever it is, it's coming once you put yourself in line with it. That's when it's going to turn up. Let's just see how the guides are trying to, what the outcome is for this week. plain sailing, basically. You're going to start getting into a sort of rhythm where you can feel the strength within you to do what you've got to do, to go on that mission, to fall in love with what you do. Yeah, I think it's about building up that inner strength and that confidence within yourself. I think that's coming up by the end of the week, and that's coming into your birthday season. And I think that you'll start feeling that building up between the 23rd and the 30th of October. So there you go, Scorpio. That's your weeklies. Obviously, thank you very much for being here with us. There's loads of links in the description below. And there's loads of other monthlies and stuff like that that you may want to see. In the meantime, Scorpio, manifest your future and start building on that manifestation now. In the meantime, Scorpio, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.